What if your desire for control, controlling the environment around you, controlling others, is what's stopping you from operating in true power? Being confronted with the realization that you're not operating in your true power does not make you weak. Why is it when we're confronted with areas of weakness that we may have that there's such a pushback? Well, I think it's pretty evident that we're self-protecting. And anytime our masculinity, anytime our manhood, our strength, whether it be financial strength, our intellect, our ability to protect and provide, our respect. When we're not respected, maybe people call us weak or that we're not leaders, we're ineffective. It feels like an attack right directly at our heart, right directly at our manhood. And so sometimes this work in working with men, it requires so much trust because I'm not attacking your masculinity. I'm not attacking your manhood. I'm not attacking your ability to protect and provide. And I'm not disrespecting you. I'm wondering and I'm questioning whether or not you're operating in authentic strength, dunamis. If what we're putting on, what we're projecting into the world, into our families, into our workplace, on the golf course, when we're measuring wieners, just like we were in middle school, are we operating in an authentic expression of masculinity and of true strength? You know, the Bible refers to meekness, which is Jesus was the very best expression of what meek is on the earth. He had access to ultimate power. He could have called down angels onto the earth. He could have rained fire down. He could have wiped out entire villages and clans, cities. But he was like a stallion that was behind a bridle, that was restrained. And so I think that for myself, my desire is that by the Lord's leading, that in all situations that I could carry authentic strength, authentic power, at the same time that I could be covered with peace, so that when I enter into an environment, it's not so that people recognize it, but it's so that it's just something that I carry so that it could actually change the environment. When there's shenanigans going on, when there's people being disrespected and all kinds of different situations, hopefully, when somebody recognizes somebody that is carrying authentic strength of power, dunamis, I keep pointing to my cat, dunamis, strength, power, ability, inherent. It's in us and it's unleashed when we are under the lordship of Jesus. And so in my life, I've been labeled a control freak. And it's something as an adult, I've really tried to take account and try to figure out, am I? And if I am, which it's arguable that I have control freakish tendencies, I've been exploring like why. And I think I have some thoughts around that. I think a lot of us, especially alpha males, we could be labeled as control freaks. If you've run a company, you feel responsible. If you're leading your family as a father and a husband, you want to feel like you have control. And ultimately, it's because we're afraid of uncertainty, or at least it is for me. And we have this fairy tale idea, which is really an illusion, that we can actually control things. And it's like I've whitewater rafted. We used to live near the Arkansas River, and there's class 3 rapids. You're not going to fight the whitewater. And I think that it's better to just get in the flow of the river and, in a more spiritual analogy, try to sense what God is doing or what is happening in the moment and try to grab a hold of that move and get in the flow of that. And so when I think about control, when I really analyzed it, what I really want is power. I want to have the power not to control the thing or the environment or the circumstances, but I want to have the power to affect change. So if something is going on around me, if something is going on with one of my children or somebody I care about, what do I have access to when I want to control the outcome, when I want to control the depth of the sadness or the pain that they're walking through or they're about to step into? When you actually see a train wreck coming in somebody that you care about's life and you're like, this is really going to hurt. I don't know how bad. And you just want to jump in there and start making decisions for them and just making it all right. You want to control the environment. You want to control the situation. And really, I think that we just want to have the power to affect change. We want to have the ability to exert whatever influence and authority that we have. And for me, it's going to prayer. It's actually asking the Lord to cover this situation, to pray the blood of Jesus over the circumstances, to take my loved one, the person that I care about, the circumstances, and take them to the throne room, take them to the foot of the throne of Creator God, who, by the way, knew them before the foundation of the world, by the way, hung the stars in the sky and set all these planets in this beautiful constellation, in this beautiful way that everything is just on this amazing, set in this amazing balance that I can't even articulate. And it's submitting my desire to control the situation and imploring with what I believe is really what we're invited into. And the Lord desires for us to ask for supernatural power to affect a situation. And to not have that, to not, or to believe that we don't have, or you don't have, or I don't have the power to bring that situation, to bring those people you care about, to bring my own circumstances to the Lord and say, Lord, I'm at the end of my rope. I have nothing left. I'm at my wit's end, whatever analogy, whatever words. But when we get to the end of ourselves and our ego is no longer in the building, 2 Corinthians 12:9, but he said to me, and this is red letters, this is Jesus, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. So it's getting to the place where we get to the end of ourselves. We can do that in a moment, in a choice, or the pressure of the world can squish us down to nothingness, to where we have zero confidence in our ability to do anything. And that's when the Lord goes, that's where I show up. My strength, which is dunamis, that word strength is dunamis. My strength is made perfect in weakness. So control, power. Control is kind of a manipulative, kind of a, if you're into the Enneagram, which some people think is demonic, but it's like that wing when you're not operating in your true strength. You're, for me, if I'm not operating in authentic power given by God for me to operate in as an image bearer, then I'm going to be operating in the controller, trying to control the situation, trying to manipulate the outcome. If you're getting tweaked by some of the stuff you hear, maybe it's because the Lord is inviting you into a different expression, a different relationship with what it means for you to be strong, to be powerful. If that pokes at you a little bit, then I'm super good with it.